Some St. Louis healthcare organizations are struggling to get the vaccines so they can do their part in this fight against COVID.
One organization that has been focusing on underserved communities is telling Fox 2's Elliot Davis there is good reason to worry about the rollout.
Affinia Healthcare just got word today that it's going to be one of the organizations that will distribute the COVID vaccines in our area. Affinia has been doing more COVID testing than anyone in underserved and minority communities in St. Louis and St. Louis County. Affinia's Senior Vice President, Dr. Kendra Holmes, sounded a warning at the start of the COVID crisis that not enough testing was being done in minority areas. Now, new concerns, this time about the rollout of the vaccine in hard-pressed minority communities that have been hit the hardest by COVID. Are you worried that underserved communities may come out on the short end as far as vaccines?
I am concerned. Missouri did not initially receive the number of doses that we thought that we would receive. So there has been a delay in the distribution. So my concern is for those high-risk individuals in underserved communities.
With a positivity rating of 17% in the city alone, there's a desperate need for the vaccine. Dr. Holmes says it's been a nightmare just trying to get their allotment of vaccines to distribute. They've been working with the state since the pandemic began. They applied to be one of the groups distributing.
I'm going to interrupt Elliot's story to bring you that breaking news on the officer shot. Chief Hayden is now addressing the media.
We're told he's coming in just a moment.
He's
actually getting over there right now, so we'll get over to him. We're going to go back to Jeff right now. Jeff, what do you have for us on the story?
Yeah, I just want to let you know the chief is coming over here, so we expect him to brief the media here any minute. He's walking across from the hospital here right now. But again, we know that an officer was shot tonight, brought here to St. Louis University Hospital. We're told that that officer was shot in the leg, and those injuries were not life-threatening. Looks like it may be just another minute or so before the chief comes over, but as soon as he does, we will come right back here and bring you that information live. So, is the chief coming over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, he is walking over right now. So we'll get ready to get his comments and get ready for what he can tell us about the officer's condition.
That is Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal, who is outside SLU Hospital. That is where a police officer who was shot this evening was taken. This was south of St. Louis in the LaSalle neighborhood. We are told that officer was shot in the leg, that his injuries are minor, that he is conscious and breathing, but of course we want to know more about the circumstances leading up to the shooting, how that officer is doing. And as you see, Jeff Bernthal and media are standing outside SLU Hospital waiting for Chief Hayden to address the media.
And this comes after a terrible 2020 year, of course, talking about homicides in the city of St. Louis, much to do with gun violence. And then tonight, starting the year 2020, the first officer that we know of getting shot, albeit in the leg. Fortunate that it's minor injuries, but at the same point in time, we're talking about an officer shot in South St. Louis. As Jasmine just said, Jeff Bernthal waiting patiently. That's Chief Hayden in the background talking with officers, quite possibly getting informed on more details before he speaks with Jeff Bernthal. But obviously the gun violence aspect, which I brought up, is a severe issue because obviously we've covered so many of these stories in the past on this station in the St. Louis area where the results were not as good as this one is, considered that it's a minor injury shot in the leg.
It is interesting what led up to the shooting. We know that this officer was on a call. I'm being told this was at Merrimack and LaSalle in south of St. Louis, just south of downtown. The officer was responding, and we see someone walking toward Jeff, a member of the St. Louis Police Department. And there is Chief Hayden. He is getting ready to speak to the media about this situation.
Hey, Chief, could we have you up the Sure. Step into the light.
Sure. Chief, what can you tell us about how your officer is doing tonight?
So the officer's doing much better now. He received a gunshot to the left leg, and he is it is a non-life-threatening injury. At about 7:15 today, our officers had received a call for a child custody dispute in the 900 block of Lebanon. While they are investigating and interviewing persons at the scene, they hear gunshots, and the officer that was shot felt pain. He fell to the ground. His partner officer dragged him to safety and then applied a tourniquet. And then other officers were able to get this officer here to the hospital. The officer that has been shot is 24 years old. He's been on the department for 7 months. He would be the 11th officer shot in the line of duty in these last 6 months. I think the point that is most discouraging is the officers are just doing their job. They're just trying to interview persons. They're trying to do what the community expects us to do, and are coming under gunfire is what the message I want to get to the community. Officers are doing their jobs, and this is the 11th time since June the 1st that an officer's been shot, just merely either interviewing someone, pulling a car over, whatever. What is normally expected of officers is what's going on, and we're coming under gunfire.
Do you know if the gunfire was directly aimed towards officers, or was this gunfire from another scene that happened to hit these officers?
So it'll be all a part of the investigation, but the issue would be is that the officers were interviewing persons as it relates to the scene when they heard shots, and of course he felt pain and fell to the ground.
What about a suspect? Is anybody in custody for this?
At this point, there's no one in custody, but officers are still on the scene conducting an investigation. There were citizens on the scene that were very concerned, and I hope that's going to lead to additional cooperation whereby we actually take somebody into custody.
Any of the individuals in the child custody situation, did they have any weapons on them?
Yeah, that's undetermined right now. It's just that will be a part of the investigation. But again, the officers were interviewing folk, and they were interacting with people as it relates to the investigation, and heard shots. And then one of the officers was shot in the leg, the left leg. His partner officer dragged him to safety and applied a tourniquet, which was very helpful in this situation.
Were you able to talk to the wounded officer, and is he able to speak and talk about anything that he was able to tell you?
Yes, I was able to speak to the officer, and he is in good spirits. His parents are here, and we're just continuing with the investigation, and hopefully the cooperation that we got from people that lived around there already will result in the arrest with additional cooperation.
And they were the only 2 officers on the scene at the time of the shooting?
Yeah, for right now, I believe there were only 2 officers on the scene at the time, but naturally other officers responded when the aid call went out.
Last question.
Officers were shot once?
Yes, well, there's only 1 wound. I'm not sure how many shots were fired.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you heard the latest there from Chief John Hayden, the officer, 24 years old, 7 months on the force, shot once in the leg, said that his partner, the officer's partner, performed a tourniquet to help as they brought the officer to the hospital. The officer in good spirits, that's the good news, able to speak with the police chief. But the bottom line, the officer saying, here's someone responding to a call, someone trying to help in a child custody dispute, and ends up being shot for trying to help. No word on any suspect in custody, no word on if anyone involved with that child custody dispute was involved in this shooting. That's all still under investigation, so we could learn more about that. But at this point, 1 St. Louis police officer wounded. The police chief says that officer in good spirits tonight. Reporting live from St. Louis University Hospital, Jeff Bernthal, Fox 2 News.
Now, the officer being in good spirits is good news. The bad news, as you heard Chief Hayden say, that's the 11th officer shot in the last 6 months.
And of course, we know there was a deadly officer-involved shooting, Officer Tamaris Bohannon, who was shot and killed just a few months ago. So this is a very tough way to start the year, but as Jeff said, the officer is in good spirits. His injuries are minor, and police are just going to continue their investigation and gather information on this case.
Ahead on Fox 2 News at 9 still, should you get the COVID-19 vaccine if you are pregnant? Hear what the experts are saying is best for expectant moms and their babies.
Weather driven by your Gateway Honda dealers. Visit gatewayhondadealers.com.
Well, did you see them today? A lot of you did see a few snow flurries around, others maybe none at all. They've been around on and off here on our Friday, and they continue to be around here into our Friday night. So we start with the power Doppler view tonight. And with snow flurries, they don't always show up on the radar very well, but you can see we've had a few pockets of little bursts of lighter snow and flurries through the evening time frame, including still, we were talking about this at 5 and 6, little bursts of snow flurries in parts of Washington County, approaching the Potosi area, and still picking up some returns in that area. And you see from time to time little hits on other spots of other communities around the St. Louis area. Again, very hit or miss, but you might still see a few snow flurries before you head to bed tonight. Views across the area are clouded in. This is the view from the boathouse in Forest Park, one of our Renewal by Anderson web cameras. And again, you can see the blanket of clouds. Another good look at the clouds, all illuminated from the metro area lighting here. And you can see the really good cloud cover. It's kind of really socked in across the St. Louis area. There's been a few breaks here or there through the evening, but overall, it's been a cloudy night, and that's how we're going to stay not only tonight, but through much of the weekend. 34 degrees right now. We've been holding there for the last several hours. North-northwest winds at 8. They have come down a touch from where they were in the afternoon. Still, though, giving us a wind chill of 27. Humidity 70%, dew points at 25, pressure 30.31 inches. It is currently holding steady. Not a whole lot of temperature movement today. High of 35, a low of 33. That blanket of cloud cover just keeping everything steady. If we'd seen any sunshine, we would have seen a pop in temperature, but we didn't today. Normals 39 and 24. Love looking at that record high. 71 set back in 2006. Temperatures elsewhere tonight as we check in on Lindenwood University in St. Charles. 32 there, 31 in Potosi, 32 Sparta and Carlo. Everyone hanging out around the freezing point. Clouds are hanging out and they're not going anywhere overnight. Main storm system well off to the east, but we're socked in with these clouds and they're going to be stubborn, hanging on for overnight. Maybe a few snow flurries up towards west central Illinois, but I think the St. Louis area is dry tomorrow morning. Get a few breaks in the overcast by the afternoon hours tomorrow. Those kind of fill back in Saturday night into Sunday. So once again, it's more clouds than sun, and we remain quite chilly all the way through the weekend. Have to get into the new week. 6 to 10 day outlook shows us on the edge of a little bit of warmer air. So we'll watch for that in the coming days. I do have a little bit of a warm up in the forecast. 28 tonight, a few flurries, lots of clouds. Tomorrow, 36 degrees with some afternoon sunshine. We will take it. The extended outlook, again, cold and cloudy through the weekend, but here comes sunshine for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And here comes a warm up. 40s Tuesday and Wednesday, back near 50 on Thursday. Also, that day is going to bring our next chance at some rain.
All right, thanks, Angela. Fox 2 News continuing to follow that breaking news south of downtown St. Louis.
A police officer has been shot in the leg and rushed to the hospital. We're going to go live to the scene after the break with more details about the officer and what is happening moving ahead. Also ahead. Welcome back to Fox 2 News at 9. Our top story tonight, a St. Louis police officer shot in the leg.
Fox 2's Zara Barker has been on the scene for a little more than an hour now. And Zara, the chief just gave us an update. He said this officer was on a call in that area involving a child custody issue.
Yeah, Jasmine, that's right. Now, that call happened just right here behind me. We're on Lebanon Drive, and this all happened just after 7 p.m. tonight. Officers were responding to interview for a child dispute case. Now, if you take a look behind me, this is what's left of that scene. Now, as the officer was conducting interviews on that scene, he was shot in the leg. We've learned that this is a 24-year-old officer with 7 months on the force. The good news right now is that officer is conscious, he is breathing, and they do believe that this is a non-life-threatening injury. When the officer was shot in the leg, that you're taking a look at scene video right now. Now, when that officer was shot in the leg, his partner applied a tourniquet. Chief Hayden spoke to our Jeff Bernthal at SLU Hospital, where that officer is currently in care. He says this is the 11th time an officer has been shot in 6 months just doing their job.
He would be the 11th officer shot in the line of duty in these last 6 months. I think the point that is most discouraging is the officers are just doing their job. They're just trying to interview persons. They're trying to do what the community expects us to do, and are coming under gunfire.
And Chief Hayden says at this time there is no suspect information to share. As soon as we learn more about any of this, we will bring it to you right here on Fox 2. Live tonight from just south of downtown, Zara Barker, Fox 2 News.
And also tonight, the Washington Metropolitan Police Department is bringing information to us in regards to a homicide unit in the FBI also investigating the murder of U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian SICKNICK.
The officer was attacked by rioters at the Capitol Wednesday. Police say the officer collapsed after returning to his office and was taken to the hospital. He died Thursday. More than 50 other officers were also seriously injured, and 15 were hospitalized after being attacked by the mob.
And they're terrorists, domestic terrorists. The difference here is this had the active encouragement of a sitting president of the United States.
Lawmakers also want investigations into the lack of preparedness and the failure in intelligence gathering. Many right-wing groups had publicized threats on social media just prior to Wednesday's attack.
Well, Senator Josh Hawley did release a statement today on the death of Officer Brian SICKNICK. He calls it a heartbreaking tragedy, saying Officer SICKNICK and the brave men and women of the Capitol Police and law enforcement from other services put their lives on the line to defend our nation's capital against lawless violence. These acts of violence were criminal, they must be condemned, and they must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We are forever indebted to the service of Officer SICKNICK and his colleagues.
New at 9, starting tomorrow, Illinois lawmakers will consider a bill to reform its criminal justice system and police departments statewide. That bill would eliminate cash bond, it would strengthen guidelines for use of force by police, and it would make officers individually liable if they abuse their power. Now, law enforcement groups are opposed to the bill, but Legislative Black Caucus Chair Kim Buckner says the work must be done.
But what I also know is that we have to have uncomfortable conversations and do uncomfortable things if we're going to change the way that that people are policed in the state.
Buckner expects that 600-page bill to be voted on in the lame duck session, which ends in the middle of next week. But Republican lawmakers say that's not enough time to address all of the issues included in that legislation.
Well, if you're in the market to buy a new home, now is the time. Plus, as gas prices rise, mileage is going down for newer cars. Contact 2's Mike Colombo has tonight's top consumer stories.
If you're thinking of buying a new home or refinancing your current home, this might be the year to do it. Freddie Mac reports the average fixed rate for the 30-year home loan is now 2.65%. That is down from 3.64% a year ago. Meanwhile, a 15-year fixed rate loan also dropped to 2.16%. Freddie Mac's chief economist says the rates will most likely rise modestly this year, which will entice more buyers into the housing market. but a lack of available homes may leave many potential homeowners empty-handed. Freddie Mac says the lack of demand could lead to a price hike during the spring home buying season. Yesterday, AAA reported gas prices were on the rise. Now, a new report from the EPA shows gas mileage for newer vehicles has gone down. When comparing data from model year 2014 vehicles to model year 2019 vehicles, researchers found the average gas mileage fell to 24.9 miles per gallon. They say it's due in part to more people buying SUVs and trucks. The report also found that pollution in newer vehicles has gone up. If you're looking for a job, we want to help. Today's featured job is for a part-time call center agent. The company is Fish Window Cleaning in Baldwin. You would work up to 29 hours a week. The position is call heavy and you could be making up to 40 calls per hour. The job responsibility includes making calls to potential customers, identifying improvements for processes and systems, and making recommendations to managers. The Fox 2 and KPLR 11 Job Board is powered by McDonald's and is helping job seekers and employers connect in the St. Louis region. To find or list a job, go to fox2now.com/jobs. And those are tonight's top consumer stories.
Well, coming up next in sports, Mizzou's basketball game that was scheduled for tomorrow has been postponed due to COVID.
And a local pitcher from Columbia, Illinois, discussing his journey to the big leagues. And a really nice view of St. Charles in a recent evening. This view captured by our B&W of West St. Louis drone Fox.
For the latest highlights and stories, just click sports at fox2now.com.
Well, if you're playing sports during COVID, it's likely only a matter of time before the virus causes issues. Mizzou basketball, the latest example, as their home game tomorrow night versus LSU has been postponed. This due to positive COVID-19 cases and also contact tracing within the Hoops program. So the Tigers have temporarily paused all team activities. Mizzou is having a really good season so far. They are 7-2 overall and ranked 13th in the country. Speaking of the virus wrecking schedules, SLU's basketball games are now postponed through next Friday. A week from today would have been the first game where the Bills could, in theory, have returned following 2 weeks of quarantine, but as expected, they will need a bit more time to get everybody healthy. Blues hockey, where Justin Falk is looking for a big year 2 with the Note. He's got the contract, and with that comes expectations, and now he can help fill in for the loss of Alex Pietrangelo even more. On the blue line, Falk adjusted to a new role last regular season, then played really well in the bubble, and now he is hoping to build off of all that.
I think that goes for everyone, whether it's old or young. It's just the nature of our game and our league is that nothing's given to you and everything has to be earned. So it's like I said, it's up to me on how I play, and I am here to do my best and help the team win games.
Hair and mustache on point right there. Josh Fleming was in his hometown of Columbia, Illinois this afternoon at Top Shooters signing autographs and joining Cam Jansen and myself on 590 The Fan Radio. He's a pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, and as a rookie in 2020, Fleming went 5-0 with a 2.78 ERA, helping the Rays reach the World Series. From Columbia High School to Division III Webster University to the big leagues.
Going into my senior year, 5'8", 130, 140 pounds, something like that. And when Webster University was one of the few, or really the only one, that reached out to me and was serious about me coming to them and playing for them. After my freshman year, my coach came up to me and was like, hey, like, you can make a career out of this, like, but you got to work for it, you got to work hard. Junior year comes by and it was, 90, 92, touching 3, touching 4. And sure enough, every game that I was thrown in, there were scouts there. And sure enough, that summer I got drafted in the 5th round by the Rays.
That is awesome. And after a few weeks off due to the holidays, tonight the Verlo Mattress Prep Zone returns at 10:15 with all of your high school hoops highlights. Charlie Marlowe, Fox 2 Sports.
All right. Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate that update. Still ahead here on Fox 2 News at 9.
Thousands of people participated in the COVID-19 vaccine trials, but how many pregnant women were a part of it?
We're tracking colder temperatures to our north, plus another look at Futurecast to show you when the sun might just break through this weekend.
SpaceX blasting off into the new year. The company launching its brand new Turkish satellite into the atmosphere Thursday night. It's designed to help improve and provide TV broadcast and internet services across Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. The satellite should remain in orbit for at least 30 years.
We have been tracking some snowflakes across the St. Louis area on our Friday. It's not much, just a few flurries here or there, but enough to remind you it is January and it is winter. So we look to the north. Is there any real deep cold air starting to pool? So we check on these temperatures across Canada. And again, we are seeing some colder air, but even nothing really extreme for Canada this time of year. Have to get up into the Yukon Territory, part of the Nunavut province up there to get into the real cold air. That's way up there, so it's not going to release to the St. Louis area just yet. But we're cold enough down near the freezing point right now. So let's check that big picture view. A few snow flurries out there. Those will continue overnight, but just starting to see a few breaks in that overcast. So let's keep our fingers crossed for tomorrow. I think we wake up in the clouds, but then as we go through the morning and into the afternoon, I think we get a few breaks in that overcast. Temperatures cold, still only in the mid-30s for highs. By tomorrow night, the clouds fill right back in, so we're back to a mostly cloudy sky for Sunday as well. I think we have to get to Monday or Tuesday before we really get a couple of sunny days into the works. But again, tomorrow, a few breaks in that overcast starting mid to late morning and kind of really taking hold in the afternoon. Temperatures out the door will be in the 20s, so keep that in mind if you're getting an early start. More clouds than sun both Saturday and Sunday, highs in the mid-30s, lows in the 20s. Then we start to warm things back up. Still in the 30s Monday, but 40s Tuesday and Wednesday, and near 50 degrees on Thursday. It's a quiet weather pattern, but by the day Thursday, we'll watch for a cold front, and that will mean a chance of some rain showers.
All right, appreciate the update there, Angela. Sunshine in our future. Well, here's what's happening Monday on Fox 2 News in the morning. College students and seniors, how odd couples housing are matching special roommates, and how the Missouri Historical Society is remembering Martin Luther King. Next on Fox 2 News at 9.
Should women who are pregnant get the COVID-19 vaccine? St. Louis doctors weighing in on what's best for expectant mothers and their babies.
Well, it's a question many people have been asking. Should women who are pregnant get the COVID-19 vaccine?
All new at 9, Fox 2's Catherine Hessel talks with local health officials to get the answer.
Over 70,000 people participated in the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine trials, but pregnant and lactating women were excluded from both.
There were some patients who didn't know that they were pregnant when they enrolled in the trial and then found out later. So we kind of by accident have 36 pregnant people who ended up in the Pfizer and Moderna trials. And there was no signal for harm so far in those 36 patients. But I'm not going to pretend that we can make any meaningful conclusions from such a small group of people.
Dr. Ebony Carter, a maternal fetal medicine physician with BJC, says she's encouraging her patients to get the COVID vaccine when it's available to them. But why would anyone want to get it with such little data?
It's because pregnant patients who get COVID can get really sick. So the risk of an ICU admission is increased 3 times. They're 3 times as likely to end up on a machine helping them breathe. And the risk of death, twice as high if you're pregnant and you get the coronavirus.
And Dr. Carter says the COVID vaccine is 95% effective, which is really impressive.
To put that in perspective, I remember Dr. Fauci saying early on, I'd be really happy if we had a vaccine that was 70% effective. It's 95%, better than we could have ever hoped for. We all use the flu vaccine every year, and that one's only 40 to 60% effective.
Dr. Carter says she would argue that the benefit of getting the vaccine is much greater than the risk of getting the virus while pregnant. And she says she spent a lot of time devouring information on the vaccine for a professional and personal reason.
I am breastfeeding my youngest child still, so I really wanted to make sure that I was making like my best personal choice for her. And after reviewing the efficacy data for the vaccine, I am actually hopeful that with breastfeeding, I think the chances that the mRNA actually gets to her are slim to none. Right? Like, do we drink the vaccine? No, because it doesn't work that way, just like the baby is going to drink the breast milk.
Dr. Carter also pointed out that the rumors that the vaccine could cause infertility are not true. Reporting, I'm Catherine Hessel.